Good evening, everybody, and TGIF. Welcome to another episode of Real Unscripted. It's your boy, Mr. CD, coming back at you once again with another hot topic. I am doing part 2 of what I talked about on Wednesday, dads. But I am switching it up just a little bit and calling it The Village because I got a great amount of input from a lot of people that felt that I should hit on that topic of the village once again. And what I'll do is I'll explain that to you guys later. But first, let me introduce my guest at this time. I got my boy Antoine in the building today. Antoine, say what's up.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
I got my girl Breeski from Breeski's Place in the building once again. Breeski, say what's up.
He said I can't yell. Hey, everybody. Fuck that Breeski!
And I got my girl Sharita back in the building once again. Sharita?
Hey, y'all.
So, if everybody listened to the podcast that I did on Wednesday, I did a very good podcast on dads and what I felt the definition of a real father was. When I ended that podcast, I ended up going into raising that village being that kid support system and having that village supported. So, Antoine, I'm going to start with you since we're doing dads today or whatever. So, what is your definition of a real father?
A real father, my definition is one who takes care of his children, be genuine with them, supportive of them, and most definitely love them and love on them.
Okay. So, you sir, are a father yourself, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How many kids?
I have 2 kids, a boy and a girl.
Okay. And
How old?
My son is 12 and my daughter is 8.
Teenager.
so you got that. So you got that,
One and one, we done.
So we got the preteen stage going into that teenage stage. Okay. So I guess I gotta know this, and I guess I've been wanting to ask this question to a father. When you first found out that you were going to become a new dad, how did you feel?
I felt ecstatic. I was overjoyed. I was more happy than the mother.
What year you was born?
I was born in 73.
Explain it. Okay. Go.
I didn't have my first kid until 2007, and I was 34 with my first child, and I was 38 with my second child.
Okay.
So with me, I just didn't want to have kids early because I know how hard it would be. Mm-hmm. And I was in the military, and I was just like, I'm not ready for kids right now because I wasn't serious with no one.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Me, I ain't gonna sit and lie to you. Me, I was scared of shit. I was happy, but I was scared as hell when I first found out. But I think the more I went to those doctor visits and I started listening to their heartbeat, and then I found out that, oh, it's your girl, your first baby, your first girl. So it was one of them things like, yo, I need to really get on my shit.
Yeah.
Can I go back?
Yeah.
I had an older sister.
Okay.
So at a young age, I was taking care of children.
Got you.
I was, I think, 14 when my sister had her first kid, and she had 5. So I had enough practice coming up, especially as being. I had 3 sisters. I was the only boy.
Right.
So I had practice in like raising children, but they wasn't my children.
Wasn't yours, right?
So when it came time for me to finally have my own, I was cool with that because I had dated women that had kids and I didn't have kids. So, like I said, I had practice in it. So it wasn't. I wasn't nervous. I wasn't scared. I wasn't afraid. I was actually up for it.
Okay.
I was ready.
I think. I think my opinion, this is my opinion, I mean, I don't know if anybody agrees with me, is that you never really are ready. You never really think you're ready until you have your own, for real.
That's
just my opinion.
But I think that you're never ready. I don't think you ever really get ready. You know what I mean? Because it's just, or as many books as people want to have out there and read. Every child is different,
and that's
you cannot read a book and be like, "This is my child." No, you have to make sure you pay attention to your child.
Because when we get pregnant, they give us all these guides and stuff of what to do and when this happens.
And the thing is, and that goes with the point. And that goes with the point that I made on my last show is that there's no handbook, there's no guide, there's nothing to raise. There's none of that manuals, none of that to raise a child. Because I have 3. And the thing I always stress to people is that all 3 of my kids have different personalities, so I have to handle my kids, all 3 separately, differently, because I can't do what I can do for one, I can't do for all. Mm-hmm. They all respond differently to the way that I discipline them, teach them. They all respond differently. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times with society and the school system, that they have that misconstrued. They misconstrue that because you can't, just because this child learns this way, the way that you're teaching doesn't necessarily mean that this child over here learns. That's why kids have a hard time learning, because all kids have different. They're different. They all have different personalities.
But that also goes to teachers being able to pinpoint, their kids, their students, like learn. Okay, well, you know what? Take that time and have that patience. Teachers nowadays don't have that patience.
No.
And when we've talked about it before, it takes a village to raise a child. And our children are in school for 8 hours a day.
Yep.
Monday through Friday. So within them 8 hours, you are their parent.
Yep.
Teacher, the person that they're supposed to be able to trust and confide in, if necessary, if that is the case, when we're not around as their parents.
Absolutely.
And then our job, of course our job never, for real parents, let me just say that. Our job never goes away. It doesn't cease because they're not in our face, around us, in front of us. Again, if you are a real parent.
Right.
But,
It's just like my kids, they live in Texas. And it goes back to the point of, like, the schooling. Mm-hmm. It's different because the way you teach your kids something at home, away from school, you're more hands-on. Mm-hmm. Especially like these days now, you may have 30, 40 kids in the classroom.
Yeah.
And the teacher, she don't have enough time to
discipline one by one.
To just teach on an individual basis. Especially if there's only one teacher in the class. Yeah. Like some classes they have probably 2, like a teacher and a teacher's aide.
Yeah.
Right.
But a lot of the classes, they're not like that. And the one-on-one, like my son, he's more of a one-on-one type of student. He learns better one-on-one compared to like my daughter. She just gets it right off the hand. Like,
and see, I know when I was coming up through school, I was always a visual learner. Yeah. Like if you showed it to me I can do it. Mm-hmm. But if you're just sitting there trying to read something out of a book and I gotta read this out of this book and you trying to explain it to me, I'm not getting it. I need to physically see you work this problem, at least one of these problems out, and I will get it
step by step.
But
I'm like that. I like especially like math.
Oh,
and once you get to certain levels of math, you got PEMDAS. You got the PEMDAS. You know what I'm saying? Show me examples and let me write it down. Let me get all this step by step, the formulas.
Yeah,
that used to get me. If you just do this. No, I need examples. I need you to go step by step. I used to actually get up and stop the class and excuse me, Miss such and such or Mr. such and such. Can you just go step by step where I can write this example down, take notes, because that's how I learn.
But you know what though, that's a good thing because, and I wish a lot of our kids, we should teach a lot of our kids that, because just by you asking that question, it might be somebody else that's scared as hell to ask the same question,
right.
And because they don't understand, because they don't understand.
A lot, believe this or not, my son like that, like public speaking.
Yep.
No, he's not gonna do it. Yeah, like he said, Daddy, I don't like taking pictures.
Yeah.
Because it's just something about him. He's just like, no, he fall back. You know what I'm saying? He real laid back. unless he doing like something he like to do, enjoy doing. You can't stop him.
Right.
But like when he in that classroom setting, he said, "Dad, I want the teacher to show me more." I said, "You gotta let him know, you know." And he said, "I just don't like speaking out in class because they nervous,
So they think
They feel
they
like
shy,
fun of.
or exactly, you know, maybe they think he, you know, something wrong with him or whatever,
Right.
you know."
Like, oh, why? Because you know there's bullies in
You got
class.
kids are so cruel.
Well, like once they test him, he's like one of the top scorers in the whole school.
Yeah, a lot of times that's how it really be.
And it's just like, if I can just get him to overcome that shyness, you know.
He'll grow into his own.
Yeah.
I promise you.
It'll take time because I mean, even today,
I was like that.
in my 30s, I'm still hesitant about speaking in front of people.
Shit, I got to
Like-
take a couple shots. I'll just be honest with you.
I don't give it that. I like the attention. I don't
See,
care.
you're right.
I be like, hey, look.
I just be
I'm gonna
like,
need you to start
I hope
over.
this is right. Because like,
But when
if it's in a setting like, you know, I know everybody, then I'm good. But in front of like strangers, it's like, oh, am I gonna pronounce this right? Am I stuttering? Am I gonna speak proper English? I just overthink and overanalyze everything, and it's not necessary.
Okay, I did that in English. Like, I hated as essays. Like,
English
I hate
is my
essays.
English was my thing.
math was my weakness though. But
Math is
I
everything.
couldn't. You know how you had to get up and read your story and all this conclusion and blah blah blah. And I was like, something about the thing. We can't hear you. I don't care. And then that's all I felt like. I hate reading out loud. And I hate English. Period. Math was my weakness. Like, as soon as the teacher said, "All right, let's go to this and this," and then get on the board and going like this. And I'm like, if you don't slow your ass down, like I don't know what you write. I got lost at division.
And you know what?
It started all in
Some
division.
more things too. You got some teachers that are teachers, but they can't teach.
No.
Right.
They know the subject,
Mm-hmm.
but when it comes to having to
Break
Break
teach
it all the way.
somebody else,
Break it all the way down.
and then because the way they get it, the student may not get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to have to tell my teachers that. I said, I know you know what you're talking about. I said, but when you're talking to the class, a lot of us not understanding what you're talking about.
Right.
Because the way you're teaching it, we're not getting it.
Right.
You know, and there's a lot of teachers like that.
Yeah.
And then PT.
And when I was younger, I didn't get up and say nothing. But when I got older,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I'm not getting this. I said, I understand what you're saying. The words that's coming out your mouth, but I'm not reflecting those words. I'm not getting it. Can you give us a more in-depth? Can you slow it down just a little bit or give us examples to go by?
Right.
You
And
know.
then I hated, this is what I hated. They just taught us this lesson. All of a sudden, we got a pop quiz. And I'll be like, bruh, look.
I didn't learn this.
You just taught us this. Can we get a practice sheet or
Yeah.
something?
Right.
But some teachers, they just about
Yeah,
testing.
because some-
And it's
some-
about-
Yeah, that's what it is now, especially
so
down here.
testing.
You
Like,
know,
teach it first.
yeah,
Then
you
test
know,
us.
I'm, you know me. I'm
I
from
used to
New
be the
York,
one that
so they
sit in the back of the class. I'm like, I don't want to sit up in the front. You know,
Bruh.
I'm in the back. And then it got to the
Sleep.
point where I'm like, it seemed like as more as I got comfortable with the class, I would move up a little bit. You know, let me sit up here. You know,
switch seats.
now it's to the point that I'm in the front row
Right.
because I
need to
know
get everything.
I know it's some people that was like I was. They wasn't very outspoken, so they're not gonna ask questions.
Right.
And you may be the one to, hey, let me ask these questions because when I was in school, like college, they was like, man, you not afraid to ask. I said, look,
Knowledge. Ugh.
I'm like, I said, look, the only way you're gonna know something if you ask a question.
I got on my
Because
students' nerves, like, look.
when I got out the military, that's when I actually started taking college serious.
Yeah.
Because before I went to the military, college was a party to me. I went to school just to party. I didn't.
What school you go to?
I went to Hampton first, and then after that, I went to Calhoun,
Yeah.
and after that, I went in the military.